Welcome to the Wild Tribe Podcast. I'm your host, Marina Valmont.
And I'm your guy, the one and only Fernello, the body paint guru, and the number one bullshitter in the world.
And right now, I am in the hot seat. I'm the guest. I had to do a shot before this interview. My palms are so sweaty.
Why?
Because you know me so well. You know me too well.
I mean, yeah, I just want to ask a couple questions. It's not going to hurt.
Okay. I'll be completely honest. I'll answer whatever you have to ask me.
Oh, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
Gulp.
We'll dive right into it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're out here in Miami, enjoying festivities. You had a busy week. I think we had a busy week.
We had a very busy week at XBiz Miami.
We did some XBiz action. Met a bunch of interesting people.
Yes, XBiz is a content creator event, so all kinds of people from the adult world, cam world, porn world were there.
Yes, and we had a front row seat to all the shenanigans.
VIP, all access pass.
Yeah, that VIP was something else, man. Let me tell you, them pool parties don't go in the water. It was a little murky. I was like, God damn it, it looks like a kumkuzi in there.
I went in the pool last year, but after your suggestions, I didn't go in this year.
Yeah, I highly don't recommend it.
I went in on the first day, which is usually
the first day, the pool's nice and clear. It's untouched by turmoil.
Can you catch things from pools?
You know what it is? It's. I don't think you can, but I just don't like the thought of it. I'm a germaphobe. I just don't like being in a big ass pool full of people, especially public pools. That's why I don't go to I don't go to those like public water parks. I don't really like going to water parks. So many people so much feces and piss.
Ew.
In those water parks. Think about it. A bunch of kids going in there swimming. Though. They got to use the bathroom. They're peeing right there. And I don't know.
It's unsavory.
Yeah. I mean, there's chlorine, but still, it's just like, no.
Yeah,
I like my own pool. So, yeah, we went out. We had a good time. The VIP parties were crazy. I left early because, you know me, I'm Mr. Antisocial. I don't really like being around too many people for too long.
I stayed up late.
You're the socialite, not me.
I like to stay up late sometimes, have a few drinks. Ilana Buns and Sarah J was there, so I found my people to hang out with. I felt very safe and comfortable. Then the tequila just started flowing. I didn't tell you about that part.
Oh, well, I didn't know. I figured, you like to get activated, so I figured you would be fun. My biggest concern was like, okay, I hope she finds her people to connect with.
I'm very fortunate in that way that I did.
I know there's a lot of predators there waiting for me to leave.
A lot of people were very happy that you left.
Oh yeah, of course.
A lot of flirtation and invitations happened.
Oh yeah, come up in room 518.
Hey, that was our room.
Yeah. I already knew people were trying to get activated.
Oh yes.
So we were out here in Miami. We did a couple things. We did some little skits yesterday.
We did.
With Miss Booty, Miss Body.
Reels, TikToks, etc.
Etc.
Speaking of that, the bottom of my tongue really hurts today.
Link in bio, probably. We'll get into details later.
Link in bio.
Yeah, we live in that link in bio life, if you know what I'm saying.
Even your neighbors know my name.
Oh, God. So I'm going to share a little story time. So you did a little collab with Carmela Clutch.
Yes.
And, I live in a residential area. I don't, we didn't do anything in an Airbnb or anything like that. This is at my place. And they did a little OF action. And
it was amazing.
And Miss Marina, participated with Carmela.
I apologize. I'm a screamer. I'm very loud when I'm excited.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I felt like you were on a Six Flags Great Adventure ride.
I was.
And
I was.
The acoustics in here was off the chain.
Yeah, they were working against us.
I knew people were like listening down the hall.
Didn't you hear someone at the door?
I did. I heard keys. Someone was just like walking through the hall and trying to peep, trying to listen in.
A nosy neighbor.
Yeah, probably.
Karen.
A Karen. Yeah. Well, at least a Karen would have the balls to tell me to my face, Like, I'm calling security. I'm calling corporate.
I want to talk to the manager.
Listen, I paid too much goddamn rent here for them to complain about intimate noises. I really don't give a shit.
I love that it said intimate noises from multiple people.
Yeah, well, let them face me. I want to see these multiple people. So we had some fun in the sun out here in Miami. And where are you originally from?
I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Like originally from Toronto, or
No, I was born there.
oh really?
Born and raised.
Toronto girl in the house. That's what's up.
416, baby.
Yeah. Okay. So you born in Toronto, Canada. Did you live there all your life, or did you kind of like moved around?
I lived there until adulthood.
Okay.
I lived in the States for a little bit, spent some time in New York City,
Yeah.
where I connected with you.
Yes.
Lost.
Oh, you know how I know how I found you. So this girl, let me tell you how I met her exactly was through.
Not too many people know this.
Okay, so I was working with a photographer named Alex Guzman. You knew him mutually
Yes,
because you used to do what?
I was a stripper, an exotic dancer, and he was the cashier at the strip club.
Yes, and he happened to know you.
Yes, and I would never shoot with him because he just gave off different vibes that
You were just
made me
nervous.
uncomfortable.
You were just nervous. You were scared.
I was.
Yeah.
Canadian girl in the big city,
Yeah.
all
yeah.
alone. I didn't have anyone with me. I didn't
Right,
have
right.
like a boyfriend or friends. It was just
So
me.
you're just typically scared. And yeah, I saw her through liking my stuff because you knew Alex and you
Yes.
saw that he posted something of mine and you saw, oh, this is great work. And I saw her in my stories, started liking all my pictures, and I'm like, who is this obscure woman?
What did you
liking
think
all
of my
stuff?
Instagram back then?
Well, I thought it was fake. I thought it was one of those like fake bot pages because like you're like the stuff that you had up there was questionable. Like some of the pictures were like faded and old and
It was camera phone stuff, but
Yeah,
like
it
I
was
had
horrible.
a bad phone back then.
yeah, it just looked fake. I thought it was like one of those fake pages. And then I was like, well, she has like 2,000 followers. I mean, usually fake pages don't have that many followers. So I was like, oh, okay, let me message this chick. I'm like, hey, I was like, hey, I noticed you liked a lot of my work, and like you should consider doing body paint or something like that. I said, and then I saw a couple pictures. I saw that you were at the Playboy Mansion. a long
I've
time
been
ago.
at the Playboy Mansion 5 times.
So, can you go into detail? What goes on?
Of
In the
course
mansion.
I can.
Yeah. So what you see? What was the craziest thing you've seen at the mansion?
Oh, wow. I've seen Pauly Shore there. I've talked to Dennis Hoff, who used to run
Yeah.
the Cat House in Nevada. He's kind of like a pimpish guy. He's deceased now, but
Oh.
he wanted me to be his girlfriend
Oh,
and
absolutely.
come work at that ranch. And I was like, oh, that's a little too much for me. But he was very nice.
The
I met
whole
Air Force Amy.
Air Force Amy.
That was one of the top girls there.
Oh.
But I also got body painted at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
That was my first body paint.
Lucky you, huh?
It was pretty special because Hugh Hefner was alive back then.
Right.
And he was dating the twins.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They had a reality show too.
They were awful.
The twins.
Oh my gosh, they were awful. They brought out all the painted ladies, which is what they call the body paint models, to get a picture with Hef. But certain girls weren't allowed to be in the picture because they were a competition. So I was one of the girls that was like, honey, you can't be in the picture. And I was like, oh, thanks, asshole.
Wow, interesting. Interesting. Oh, you see any cocaine use and drug use and all kinds of stuff there?
Of course.
good.
They preach about like anti-drugs, da-da-da-da-da. But what people do in the bathrooms is what people do in the bathrooms.
Yeah. Run a line.
I was offered many things.
Oh, of course, I'm sure. And the grotto. Did you do anything in the grotto?
Because I was body painted, I couldn't hang out in the grotto too long because I was melting.
Oh, that sucks.
And I didn't want to be fully naked
Did
there.
you see any action though? Anybody was giving hand jobs or what's going on?
No, but I saw what's his name? Hasselhoff.
Oh, really?
I saw him. And I'm such a jerk sometimes. I approached him because he was at the buffet and he was taking some home, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Wow. Interesting.
It's like, "Why are you taking food home?" He's like, "Oh, it's for my kids."
Oh yeah, did you see that video of him eating a hamburger on the floor, all fucked up?
It could have been from the Playboy Mansion night.
That was the best meme ever. So fast forward, then you did the Playboy Mansion. Like when did you start coming to the States? I mean, as in your early adulthood.
In my early adulthood,
And you were dancing too.
I was dancing. Yes, I had. I got married.
What? You were married?
You don't know this?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I got married. I lived in Las Vegas. I
How
married.
was that?
It was interesting. I married a strip club manager, so
Oh, I didn't know he was strip club manager.
it didn't go well because he liked me and fell in love and got jealous and that whole thing.
Define jealousy, because like what is jealousy to you? I mean, didn't he like about you?
He didn't like when I went to the gym without him because he thought people were checking me out.
Okay, I mean they were, but
They were, but like, hey, I like to go work out and go to the gym. He also tried to get me to gain weight by like feeding me certain things.
Oh, he was trying to pork you out.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Love that.
That's an awful technique. Don't do that.
You know what?
Don't.
Yes. I love him. I love him porky. Gotta pork him out. Keep him in line. Keep him at home. So you did that, did the marriage thing, didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
You still dance? Did you dance at Spirit Rhino in Vegas or?
That's where I danced.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Only the best.
Oh, so there's Spirit Rhino, there's Sapphire.
I want to dance at the Gentleman's Club, an elegant
Gentleman.
experience.
Elegant experience. Yeah. No, there's no elegant experience in Vegas, let me tell you.
It's very elegant.
Yeah, sure.
Don't listen to him.
So you get there, you end that situation with him, and you moved back to Canada from there?
Yes. I went for a year and I lived in San Francisco, and then I moved back.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And from there, you was like, okay, I still want to explore a little bit more, and you ended up in New York?
The timeline is a little askew, but
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so you went to New York. And you dated some more? Did you find some other?
I'm always dating.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you find anybody more interesting than who you had before?
Yes, I most certainly did.
Okay.
We had already connected at that point.
Yeah.
So do you remember painting me for the Fox News thing?
Yeah.
We had all the slogans across me. You came into my hotel room that day, and you met this guy that I was dating.
So I remember this very, very vividly.
We'll call him the French guy.
Okay.
Because he's from Paris.
So I think you stayed at an obscenely expensive hotel.
It was very high class.
I think it was like $1,000 a night or something like, or $800 a night, I think.
It was. And we got caviar the night before, and it was even more expensive.
So my first introduction to this woman was me knocking at the door, thinking, okay, she's going to come open the door, introduce myself. First time ever meeting her, right? We had a couple conversations on the phone, but this was like the first official physical meeting.
Yes.
Get there, open the door, and boom, she was glistening, naked, booty out, kitty out, everything out. And she's like, hi, hey, Fidel, nice to meet you. I'm like, oh, well, nice to meet you too.
Nudity is so normal for me.
Like already butt-ass naked. So I'm getting in there. I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to work. I guess I don't have to tell her to take the clothes off.
Or you're not going to paint me in lingerie, so
I know,
put it
but that
on
was
for
just
what?
the most odd way to meet someone right away is they're already naked. Like,
It never entered my head that would be weird.
I guess because you thought, oh, he's a body painter. He sees girls all the time naked. But
That's what I thought.
the formal way I usually meet people is never naked.
Because they're not wild like me.
Yeah, I guess. So I get there. She's naked. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm going to get set up. And then this guy just like hovers around me. Oh, hey, how you doing?
But he's got a French accent.
And, I'm like, oh, hey, I guess I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know who the guy was. I was just like there to do a job. And I just kept like hovering around you while I was painting you and just kept kissing you and kind of like
Marking
like
his territory.
Yeah, marking his territory or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm not here to take your girl, man. I'm just here to get paid, you know? Like, so it's like, whatever, dude. Like, kiss her, whatever. And it was a wild day. We went out in public. We did interviews. You did interviews.
There's lots of paparazzi.
Yeah, it was so many people.
I saw Patrick Stewart that day.
Where?
He was being ushered into the Fox headquarters, the media building, for an interview.
Oh.
So they pushed me down the street a little bit, and then I look back, and I'm like, oh, X-Men, Star Trek, Patrick Stewart.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
They didn't want him to see me, because that would have been uncomfortable.
And then from there, we started like staying connected. And then you did your first body paint. I would say your official body paint photo shoot with me through Alex Guzman, and that was later in the year. I think it was maybe closer to summertime, because it was like a gap. Because I had met up with you in January of 2017. We did that skit. Because I remember very vividly, it was a very nice, I think it was like 70 degrees in January that one day.
It was beautiful.
And we got lucky with the weather, but
so I was out there fully topless.
yeah.
In little booty shorts.
Yeah. I think I still have that video to this day somewhere in the archives.
Ooh, you have a large archive.
I know, of all kinds of goodies. So we had I think it was like a 4 to 5 month waiting period, and then we got back together, did that one photo shoot with the skulls.
Yes, and then we had the Coney Island Mermaid Day Parade.
Okay, and that's what I remember. So we did the skull body paint. Then after that, you hired me for the Naked News segment for the Coney Island Mermaid Parade.
Yes, and that was a very uncomfortable experience that we went through.
Yeah, that I will keep to myself.
Okay.
But it was very, very uncomfortable. We had a little situation where I came there.
Yes. There was a little racism.
Yeah, you know, it is Brooklyn. You would think it because it's Brooklyn. No, it's like there's certain parts of Brooklyn they don't like certain people in certain buildings.
I had no idea because I'm from Toronto. Everyone is just people.
The guy was like, we were painting, and the guy kept trying to come into the apartment, wanting to know who I am.
At one point, he knocked on the door. I opened, and he tried to push his way through. And I'm like, no, you can't come in. He's like, why can't I come in? I'm like, buddy, you're not invited. Get out.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
And Marina's so tall. I don't think you guys realize how tall she really is. So she's about the size of an average man.
I'm 5'9".
I mean, that's the average height for a man in the United States. So she, she can kind of like push you around, if she wants to.
And I have aggression in my voice when I need.
Yeah. She's soft spoken now, but when she's ready,
Ready to go.
But the day went kind of sour. It wasn't because of that. Mostly it was because of the weather.
The rain.
It rained that day. She was body painted. So she really wasn't able to accomplish what she needed as far as the look.
Yeah.
And
I had to hide under an umbrella the whole day.
Yeah, pretty much. And we had that situation happen. And I think it was like a gap in between. I think the next shoot you did was the Harley Quinn.
Yes.
And I think after that you were just set. You were like, man, I love doing this shit. And then we did a couple shoots after that. And then
we went to Jamaica.
And then that's where the story begins. That's where the chapter begins, and you being part of the team and getting familiar. But I'm gonna deep dive into certain things. So, how was your childhood growing up? As far as were you always like a bad kid, or you were always curious? Do you have brothers and sisters?
I'm an only child.
Oh,
I grew up really poor.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Me and my mom went to the food bank. She didn't learn to read until I was born, and she had me in her mid-30s.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of abuse that she suffered. So my childhood wasn't easy. It was difficult.
Right. Oh, interesting. Okay. And did that have an impact on how you went about your life? What got you into doing stripping?
It had a very big impact on my life.
Yeah.
She never wanted me to get into modeling and acting, which is something I always desired.
Right.
And in hindsight, I agree with her because this business is really tough. There's a lot of predators, and you really have to have someone looking out for you. So that's why I'm really grateful for you.
Me?
Because you look out for me.
I mean, I try. I mean, look, I try to give. Look, I try to look out, and I try to always give the best advice I possibly can. You know, for anybody that gets into this business that wants to achieve things, because I mean, it's a difficult business, you know, and there's a lot of people that sell a dream.
I don't think I've ever told you how I got into dancing, but it wasn't my choice.
Oh, interesting. Do tell.
Okay, this is a little embarrassing.
Okay, that's not embarrassing. Go ahead. Knock it out.
I was a young lady,
Right.
and I was looking for opportunities. So this night that I went to this nightclub in Toronto, and I met a rapper, and he's like, I would love for you to be...
It's always those goddamn rappers.
I would love for you to be in my music video. And
Oh, yeah, that's the usual line.
where you're shooting it in New York. I'd love to fly you out and accommodate you.
Accommodate you with that dick.
Pretty much. And I'm like, yeah, of course, I would love that.
That's my new word. I love to accommodate you with some cock.
So we get to the airport. Red flag number 1. He's like, we're going to go through customs separately. I'm going to meet you on the other side.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I was so young and naive. I didn't understand.
We're gonna go through customs separately.
Yes. Red flag.
What was that? Okay, so I'm
Because he had a criminal record or some...
So he didn't want you to know.
Yeah, he didn't want me to know.
Right.
So we get there and we land in New York. Everything's fine. We meet his friends, and he's like, I want you to pretend that you don't speak English. So just don't say anything around my friends. I'm like, that's really strange, but okay.
You can pull it off. You're French Canadian.
I'm okay. I said, okay. Well, I'm Russian and French.
You're Russian and French?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I thought you were
Yes.
French Canadian.
I am French Canadian, Russian and French Canadian.
Okay, I missed that one.
So later that night, he says, I'm going to take you to the club and you're going to dance. And I'm like, what? He's like, no, it's going to be fun. So at this point, I realized I really didn't have a choice. Later, right before we went to the club, he told me to leave my passport above the fridge in his house. And I'm like, okay, sure. I didn't do that. So we went to the club, and I ended up dancing that night. And I realized I really liked it. But I didn't like him.
Right.
I didn't like him. Basically, I got home. He wanted my money. I'm
he
like,
was trying to low-key pimp you out. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Leave your passport on the fridge so I can take it and use it as ransom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
The next...
Wow, your spider senses was going crazy for that one.
Yeah, they were. So the next night, I'm like, I'm gonna go dance. I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna take my passport, and then I'm gonna find another situation, whether it's getting a hotel or whatnot. I'm not going back with him.
Right.
So I go to the club, I dance, and at the end of the night, he's like, "Oh, okay, just come home." I'm like, "Okay." So by that time, I had found someone else to hang out with.
Oh.
My next future boyfriend of 2 years. So he saved me, and we hung out that night, and there was a whole confrontation because this guy didn't want to give me my luggage and my things, and then there was like a mafioso type of fight that went down.
That's
so
crazy.
2 nights later, I'm exiting the strip club, and this guy is there. And he tries to kidnap me.
What?
Yeah, he tried to kidnap me. But luckily, I'm a brown belt in Taekwondo.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know defensive moves. So he grabs me, and he's grabbing me and pulling me towards the subway. My heart rate is going. I'm like, oh my God. He gets me down there, I'm fucked. So what I did was like, oh, okay. You know what's the heaviest thing to drag? A body that is limp. So I just went limp. And he couldn't drag me, and because it was raining, we fell.
Right.
And then my new boyfriend was there, got a bat out of the car, and started batting him.
We call him Batman.
He was Batman.
Batman come to save the
Yeah.
day.
So I've never really told anyone that story before,
Wow,
but I'm glad to
interesting.
share it with
Wow,
you.
wow.
Message to young girls out there:
Yeah.
don't do risky things like that. Don't cross borders with people you don't know.
Yeah, don't take invitations from rappers.
Don't do that. Do not do that.
They'll want to accommodate you.
I learned the hard way. Luckily, I'm smart enough to find it
Yeah.
out, but you might not be.
Yeah, just like
don't.
listen. Anybody that gets an invitation to go somewhere, if you don't know the people, just always reach out to other people that they might know and say, hey, I got this invitation from this dude. Like, what do you think of him? Like, got to do your research nowadays, especially in this time we're living. It's crazy,
And I researched him. He had music videos. He was well known in the
Right.
industry. I'm not going to say his name now, but he had a decent reputation and connections to the Toronto hip hop scene.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that get sex trafficked by celebrities too.
He tried to sex traffic me.
Because they can use their celebrity to con you into things, and it can happen. And some
Almost
women,
happened to me.
yeah, some women are naive. Oh my God, this rapper wanted me to come out and party on his boat, and
I was so hopeful.
Yeah,
I was just looking for that.
and they always go after the small town women.
Yeah.
Well, small town girls, because obviously they don't know enough. They don't have common sense to realize that, hey, I could get conned here. So they always get with the the girls from like Kentucky, Ohio, like the small town.
Fresh-faced,
Girls.
innocent, naive
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, big city girls don't fall for that trick.
No.
Most of the time they don't.
No.
So that's crazy. So you got in a whirlwind of turmoil
Yeah.
in the dancing world. How long you started dancing for? Like, how long was that period?
10 years.
Damn, a decade of dance.
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
I also did bachelor parties too, which was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Oh,
I did
God.
that in Toronto.
Bachelor parties, guys. You know what that means. She's pulling out dildos, all kinds of.
I wasn't though.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. Pegging dudes in the butthole.
I only did that once.
See what I'm saying? I wasn't making it. I just literally just thought about crazy shit. And I tell you, these bachelor parties, they go crazy, man.
Yes.
They do all kinds of stuff. What was the craziest experience you had dancing in a nightclub? Like, what type of thing you seen that was like, oh my God, I got to get out of here?
I got attacked once by a customer.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what made me stop dancing.
During your dance?
And because he was so affluent, they didn't do anything about it.
Wow.
We were in the back room.
Okay.
And
VIP?
in the VIP.
Okay, good.
I knew something was up. I'd been with him a few times, and he was a very weird guy, but very affluent. He would drop 10, 20, 30K in a night. No problem.
Wow.
So I knew he was weird because he would give me little signals like, oh, I peed in this girl's drink and she drank it. Ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, you're telling me stuff that you're going to do to me.
Mm-hmm. He's
So
giving you the preview.
He's
to
giving
the
me
movie.
the preview.
Giving you
So
the preview.
I went to the bathroom. I came back and I smelled urine in my drink. And I'm like, oh,
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to drink this, but I'm going to pretend to sip it to give him a little pleasure.
Yeah.
There's no harm in that.
First of all, rule number one, never leave your drink laying
Never leave your
around.
drink.
As a female, don't just leave your drink. Always, and if a guy wants to get you a drink, always go with him to the bar and get the drink with him. Don't ever have him bring it to you because you don't know what he's going to put in the drink or whatever it is.
Best case scenario,
Yeah.
he's going to pee in it. That's best case. Well, he's going to drug you otherwise.
R. Kelly'd your drink.
So he had did this. So my guard was already up. He was really drugged up.
High on the perks.
Yeah, he was messed up. And then all of a sudden, at one point in the VIP, I just started getting a really uncomfortable feeling. And I'm like, I want to go to the bathroom. And he's like, no. You can pee in the champagne bucket. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I would like to go to the bathroom. No. Just like give it a few minutes. And all of a sudden, he dims the light to the point where I couldn't see anything anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel someone run at me like a linebacker, like a quarterback. And then I'm on the floor. He's on top of me, like choking me. And then he's trying to put his sock in my mouth.
What the fuck?
But luckily, this man was the same height as me. And I had like angry strength. So I threw him off of me, and I was able to get out of the room.
Marina's testosterone kicked in, guys.
It did. So I was shaking. I was crying. I went out, and they gave me a drink, and I sat there, and I cried, and I'm like, oh my God, da 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 da.
So what did the management do about that?
Absolutely nothing.
Wow.
He came back again the next week to victimize someone else. Because
That's
if you have money, you
insane.
can do whatever you want.
That's wild, guys.
Yeah, and you know what club that was?
What club was it?
That's a club that you know.
Oh.
Yeah. We won't say the name, but
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, shit. That's wild.
yeah,
That's wild. So imagine this happens to a lot of females.
it does. I was also attacked by another stripper.
Well, I know that's common. I've seen it happen. I've seen it.
I
go
got
down.
what do they call that? Chocolata in the back of the head.
Oh, you got the 40-ounce bounce
Yeah.
in the back of the head. Boom. Damn.
I messed her up though.
Oh,
It's all good.
you know. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. And you know what?
But those are the worst experiences.
I mean,
I also
I've
had
seen-
great experiences there.
Of course. I mean, but any place you're dealing with a lot of like low vibrational people, you're gonna get those types of problems. You know what's crazy? I'm a dude, and I never liked going in a strip club. Maybe because I'm cheap. I don't even want to fucking spend money on a chick like that. Like drop money on her. What the hell?
The strip club comes to you.
Well, that's different. Yeah, I guess because I'm, always see naked girls. What's the point of me going to a strip club? Seeing more naked girls, and I gotta pay to see them naked. That's lame.
Right?
I mean, I get it. There's a thrill in throwing money on a chick. If you got it, you got it. But I never thought that was something that I wanted to do. I'm like, I could invest this money. God damn it, and get more equipment. I don't know.
But if you're a businessman and you're doing a business dinner, because a lot of the clubs do have fine dining, you can write it off.
That's true.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Not anymore.
Well, there's other ways to spend and invest your money. I don't want to throw it away on a stripper. Right? That's just like your vice.
Don't do it.
Yeah, strippers.
They'll just give it to their daddy.
They'll give it to their pimp or whoever is running the show.
Yeah.
So that's wild. This is Wild Tribe, and we'll be going into more details. So that's okay. So after that traumatic experience you had, what was the next move in your mind? What was like? Okay, now I got to get out of here. I got to try something else.
Yeah, now I got to get out of here, try something else, do something more mainstream, rely on my talents.
And the next question is, how'd you land a gig with Naked News?
Well, I was in the Toronto modeling scene for quite some time. I started at Naked News in 2012, and they were trying to get me on the show for a while, but I was just doing bikini modeling. Stripping is like a private thing that people don't see, but like when you're on TV and your photos and videos are out there, it's different.
Yeah. You can like low key lie and say you never was a stripper because there's no paper trail really.
There's no proof.
Yeah, Hey, if you don't want a paper trail, be a stripper. Don't start an OnlyFans.
Yeah, if you just start an OnlyFans, there's evidence out there.
Oh yeah, you're pretty much embellished in the internet forever.
So they tried to get me on the show, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
But then I was like, a few years later, I was like, why not? This is an opportunity. Maybe they'll love me. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe it won't. But I'll never know if I don't try. So I did, and they loved me.
Interesting. Good. That's awesome. And how long you been with Naked News?
It's going to be 11 years this
Wow.
year.
Amazing. Congratulations on that one. 11 years. You've seen them come and go.
So many coming, so many going.
So many coming and so many going. And you're 11 years vet. You've been doing it a while now. Is there an expiration date for Naked News, or do you like the affiliation with Naked News? How do you feel about your place in Naked News at the moment?
I love the brand, and I love the people that work behind the scenes. I'm a producer on the show.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I love the freedom. I love the acceptance. I love being able to produce different events. I love interviewing people.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
It's opened a lot of doors for me, so I'm extremely grateful.
Well, our first interaction was because of Naked News, and I was fortunate enough to do a lot of segments with you guys for the last, was it 5 years, 6 years?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, Naked News has definitely, I would say, legitimized you as a broadcaster in a sense.
Yes.
And the brand is a good brand.
It is
and
strong name recognition.
It's allowed you to travel the world and see different things.
It
so.
has Jamaica, Amsterdam, all across America, Romania.
Shout out to Naked News. Shout out to Naked News.
Thank you, Lucas Tyler.
Yeah. So is there a specific type of guy that you're interested in as far as the archetype when you look for a dude to date, or
Yes.
like is it a height thing, is it a occupation status thing, what draws your attention to a man?
Height doesn't matter to me. We're
Okay.
all the same size in bed.
I like that one. We're all the same size in bed. You know what I say, it don't matter how big and how small, they all gonna end up face down, ass up,
It's true. It's very true. So I usually date guys around my height.
You don't date taller guys?
I have, but
Okay.
it's just usually worked out that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm into the short kings.
You're into the Tom Cruises of the world.
I am. I don't know. There's something about it that's just like, oh, we're the same height. I'm into it. You can see me getting excited. I'm like, yes.
Oh, God. And
But I love someone that's passionate about travel and trying new things. Someone that's open-minded. I don't want to date someone that's trying to change me. You're
Right.
coming into my life.
right.
You've got to blend and meld with me. Not me melding with you.
It's true. That's true.
I'm established.
So it's basically more about what a person, for you, how can a person bring a new experience to your life?
Yeah, I love nerds.
Right.
So if you want to hang out with me and watch Rick and Morty, Netflix and chill,
Yeah.
I like that. I
And
love staying at home.
And you're
hanging out.
you're a designated pothead.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been hearing that surprises people. Do I not look like a pothead?
Not really.
Really?
No, you don't.
I guess it's because I'm so well spoken. I've just
Ah,
learned
yeah.
how to talk when I'm high.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you don't. I mean, I don't even know what a pothead's supposed to really look like, but
Not me.
Yeah, but yeah, so you just basically looks are not a general factor. It's more about the
No.
experiences.
Hygiene is a factor.
Okay, can't smell, guys.
Can't smell. Better be brushing your teeth and flossing every day. Brush your tongue. Roll back your foreskin.
Oh,
Give
God.
it a good cleaning.
Clean your head, guys.
That's very important.
Clean
Wash
that
your
head.
ass.
Wash your ass.
Shouldn't need to say it, but I do.
You know how many people probably don't even take showers every day? I take a shower every day.
I
have
used
to.
to date a guy, and I would do his laundry, and there'd be shit stains in it.
Great, excellent. Let's shit stains, baby.
Like that ass.
Clean my underwear.
Speaking of shit stains,
What?
the DJ.
Oh no. Oh God, this is gonna be an interesting story. So
You met him.
you've encountered a lot of different men, and this guy was because I've been there a long time to see all the characters you've dated.
I've kissed a lot of frogs.
Yeah, you definitely are a frog kisser. I've seen that. But this one guy was very interesting.
Don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't care about your sexuality. I just care about I like people that kind of is more upfront about their sexuality.
Just be honest. If
Right?
you like something, we can do it together.
Like if you're
I'm
into
open-minded.
dudes, if you're into this, if you're into that, if you're into girls, whatever, it's cool. But just let your partner know what you're into, so there's no hiding, right? And you don't want to be in a relationship with someone you have to hide.
You have to communicate. If you want me to peg you, tell me. I'm
Right.
into it. I'm
So,
there.
I had my suspicions about this DJ.
What gave it away? Was it his hair, his style?
It's certain things. Men kind of have this instinct. We kind of know things
Yeah.
about other dudes. We could tell. Just like women can know about other women, right? So it's just the way he carried himself, certain little things he did. I was like, kind of bisexual, in a way, right?
Now that I think back, I did see signs.
Right. So, you went out one day, left him home.
Yes, he did not live in Toronto. He had come to visit me.
Right. He's a Florida man, right?
Yes, he was a Florida man. Orlando.
Oh, God, Orlando.
So I went out because I had to work or see a friend, some kind of errand I had to run. So I was gone for a few hours. When I came home, I went to the bathroom and I don't know, I was throwing a Kleenex in my garbage, my bathroom garbage. And I looked in and I'm like, there's 2 condoms in my garbage. Why are there 2 condoms? So I investigated. I like searched around a little bit. One was filled with cum.
Oh, excellent.
I was like, oh, that's disturbing. Who's been in my house?
Right. Like, why would he wear a condom?
Oh, and he's masturbating.
And he's home alone.
Yeah, home alone.
I mean, you know, just fucking.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's weird.
The other one had feces on it.
Oh, interesting.
But like, I have my sex toys in a certain place, and you're not going to find it unless you're rifling through my things. So that was a violation of my privacy that he was rifling through my things, firstly. Secondly, condom full of cum. Thirdly, there's a second condom with shit on it.
Do you think he had someone over and he was pal driving that?
120%.
Wow.
And I think they did put a condom on dildo's ass. So I don't know who was there.
Someone was doing the fucking, but why were they 2 condoms?
That's what I mean. It makes me think
that's
that.
a mystery.
Is it? If there was another dude there, that makes sense.
Wow, so many riddles in that story.
So many questions. Too many questions for me and too much dishonesty.
Ultimately, so you catch him in the act? You said, "Hey, why is this in my bathroom?" Or
and he was all like, "Oh, I wasn't trying to hide it from you. If I had, I would have like hid it." And I'm like, "No, you're just stupid and lazy.
And probably high on something.
Probably high on something."
For you to just leave a shit-stained condom in a toilet with your girlfriend around.
Wouldn't you flush it? Like there was a toilet there.
I mean, that's a little unsanitary and just. I guess he didn't give a fuck.
I guess so.
Yeah.
We were on the outs at that time. I'm sure he could sense it.
He wanted to go out with a bang, literally. Wow.
So that's why I don't have that strap on anymore. Oh my gosh, it was a strap on.
Was it a double-sided one?
No.
Oh God. Well, hey,
Ass to ass.
Ass to ass. Requiem for a Dream. What a tale.
One of my favorite movies.
What a tale. That's my favorite line in the movie. What are we gonna do now? Ass to ass. Well, I mean, that's an interesting story. I'm glad I was able to sit down with you and discuss a couple things about
things you
Marina
didn't even
Valmont.
know.
Oh wow, it's an interesting chain of events. That's the time we have for today. Until next time, stay wild. I'm your boy Fernello, and this is Marina Valmont, and we're out of here.
Bye.